Hey y'all, so I am here. Real Housewives of Miami, okay? Season 4, episode 1. Now, when I had heard that the Real Housewives of Miami was coming back out, I did my due diligence over the past week. Wasn't week and a half? I'll say week and a half to pretty much go through and watch seasons 1 through 3. Now, I want to say in the past 3 or 4 years is when I really got into the Housewives, and I've been binge watching them. Now, I've always seen the Real Housewives of Miami there, and every time I go to click it, the reason why I never went to watch it is because I realized that there was only 3 seasons and then they canceled the show. So I didn't want to start watching a show that they just end up canceling anyway. So when I found out that they were coming back, I was like, okay, let me do my due diligence. So for me, it don't feel like it's been 10 years, obviously, because I just started watching the show from season 1. Let me see. Who is my favorite before we get started? My favorite person on this show from the first 3 seasons was Adriana. I just love her so much. The fact that she punched, what's little sis' name? Little blonde chick that ended up getting married to the ain't shit guy that cheated on her that owned the club. I can't think of her name. Is it No. I can't think of her name right now. It's crazy because I just finished watching this show. But yeah, I love that she punched her in her face. And Adriana, she's just not with the shit. Her and my girl, Leah. I know a lot of people don't like Leah. But Leah to me was like the Lisa Vanderpump of the Real Housewives of Miami. She's just very much so older, very much so got a lot of money, very much so trying to teach the girls, and I'm upset that she ain't on the show. I wonder if she gonna pop up anytime this season. I would love to know, because I would love to have her back here. Like, for sure. Hold on, y'all, give me 1 second. I have to call her back. I'm gonna call her back. So anyway, so we start off with everybody going to lunch as normal. So we got Alexia. I like Alexia a lot. I really do. I think she real fiery and stuff. Now, sometimes I do think that she be jumping out the window in the past and she has gotten really upset for no reason. But what was the damn... See, I told y'all, I've only watched it in the past week and a half. I ran through 3 seasons, so I can't remember everybody's name. But the dentist that was on season 2, Alexia went the fuck off on her at that dinner. At that party that she had or whatever. And I was like, yes, ma'am, because she is doing team too much. She is trying. And I know a lot of people, I guess, looking back at it, or hearing stuff, felt like Alexia was jumping down the dentist's throat. But no, that dentist was doing the absolute most with the least. So let's move on. Then we got Marisol. I'm indifferent to Marisol. She don't bother me. The only thing I did recognize, or I don't want to say I recognized about Marisol, is when I started watching the show and I seen her mom was, I'm looking at her mom like, yo, I know who this woman is, but I can't put my finger on it. And I finally got it when somebody said a psychic. I said, boom. I watched a documentary. If y'all do not know, there is a Netflix documentary on Marisol's mom, and it explains her whole life, how she, got into the psychic thing, how her face got messed up. It's a really good documentary. Y'all should watch it. Marisol, I don't know. She don't really bother me. She just there. Then we got Lisa. Lisa doesn't bother me too much either. She's cool, I guess. She looks the exact same, which makes sense, because, I'm going to say this. I feel like now Lisa looks her age, because 10 years ago, Lisa looked the exact same because of all of the plastic surgery that she got. And at the time, Lisa said she was 29, which blew my mind because she did not look 29. She looked like she was more 30-something. Now, Lisa looks the age that she is. Just saying, putting it out there. And then we got my boo, Adriana, okay? So all of the girls have been friends throughout the years. They show pictures. Even though the show wasn't on, they've still kept in touch. So I like that. I like when the girls are actually friends or have actually hung out outside of the show. I like that. Makes sense to me. So Marisol talks about, her mom passing and how hard that was, okay? And how she is now married to, I don't know, some man, but I don't know what marriage this is for her, but I know before we saw her, she got married to the guy that wasn't shit. I don't want to say that wasn't shit, but she got married to the guy, and then they got a divorce, and she was having a hard time with that, and I think that was Marriage 3, but I don't know. This guy that she has now, just aesthetically looks like it'll work for Marisol. Just saying. So then after that, we get this whole little big whoop-de-fucking-do of an entrance from Larsa. Now let me say this. I want to say this. When I started watching, because I didn't even know that Larsa was on the Real Housewives of Miami originally. I had no idea. So when I started watching it like a week and a half ago, and the first thing that comes up, it says Larsa Pippen. I was like, looked at it. I lied to y'all now. I paused that damn thing on Peacock 15 times to look at her then. And then I pulled up her Instagram from now. I was like, this is not the same person. Even personality-wise, it's not the same person. So for me, watching the first season of The Real Housewives of Miami was extremely eye-opening for me to see Larsa like that. I'm like, wow. Interesting. Very interesting. So Larsa comes in and Adriana's like, Larsa pretty much looks like Kim K, and she used to hang out with the Kardashians. What she did, she was like, when the Kardashians kicked her out of their little group. So now she's trying to come back to Miami, trying to be cool with the rest of us. I can absolutely see that because I don't know much about the Kardashians, but I do know that Larsa was cool with them at one point in time. I didn't know that they wasn't cool anymore, but okay. If you're no longer friends with the Kardashians, and I'm pretty sure you was getting a lot of life off of being connected to them, I'm pretty sure now to get your little fame up, to get your little clout up, you're trying to be on a Real Housewives of Miami so that you can have some type of claim to fame other than being married to Scottie Pippen and getting fucked by Future left and right. That's when I really heard about Larsa Pippen, is when that whole situation was going down with Future. She was fucking Future. That's all I know. Anyway, So Adriana talks about how she divorced her the man that we seen her with all them years ago, that she was married to. Because remember, the third season started off with the fact that Adriana was technically married, like legally married to this man that she was saying was just her boyfriend. Now, she went to the courthouse and got it done, but she never actually had like a real wedding until season 3. But I could see why they're not together. I didn't think he was a good fit for her anyway, but that's that. So they asked Larsa about her divorce, and she says that she's legally still married, and that makes sense to me because I've been wanting to know, why in the hell does Larsa still have Scottie Pippen's last name? I kept thinking, like, is it a Tina Turner situation where it's like, I earned my name, I'm keeping my name. Look, I wanted to know if it was that, but no, they're technically still not divorced. But I feel like even once they get divorced, she'll still want to keep that last name just because of the weight that it holds. I feel like she'll want to keep it. Then somebody asked, how did Larsa kids feel about her being on OnlyFans? Now, we all know that Larsa has an OnlyFans where she be doing the absolute most, as we can see, showing her ass, showing her titties. Well, I don't want to say showing her titties because that's not fair. But I feel like she definitely probably showing her titties to somebody on there. But, really risque photos. And I don't really know. I don't remember what she said. I don't know if she said, oh, they don't know or they don't care, whatever. Now, let me say something, Larsa. And I always wanted to want her to answer this. Larsa has a 20-year-old. And I know not that long ago, there was a rumor that Larsa was trying to have sex with, was it Bronny maybe? Was trying to push up on one of her son's, teammates, when it was like, no, that's not true. I've known him since he was a little boy, because I think she put a heart or liked one of his friend's pictures. All I'm saying is this. Your kids might not say it, but let me tell you something. That 20-year-old in particular, he know exactly what you're doing out in these streets, okay? And best to believe, somebody done roasted his ass about his mama being full spread on OnlyFans. Somebody done fucked with him about his mama being an industry hoe. Just saying. Anyway, and then Larsa talks about how she makes $10,000 a day on OnlyFans. Now, everybody else is like, girl, $10,000, you gotta be showing. Because she said, oh, I'm only putting pictures, of what I put on Instagram. Girl, bullshit. You might put some of those pictures, but you can't tell me you're not showing a little this and that. And they already showed a couple of your OnlyFans stuff. You be showing a little bit more, girl. This is the thing. This is what bothers me the most. If you gonna do it, then do it and stand in it. Don't backpedal, don't half-ass it. Yes, bitch, I'm out here on OnlyFans. I'm making $10,000 a day. It don't matter how I make it. It's none of you bitches' business. Just know that I get this paper and you hoes don't. That's what you need to say. But don't be sitting up here lying, girl. Nobody got time for that shit. So Then we learned a little bit about Alexia and what's been going on with her. So with Alexia, her and Herman got a divorce. And then a year after they got a divorce, he died. But the real gotcha is, okay, and this is why this all makes sense to me, or it's funny that it wraps up this way and I just finished watching the other 2 seasons. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to figure out this girl's name because otherwise it's really going to piss me off. Okay. So in season 2, damn it, what is the girl's name? Wait. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna, cause I have to know her name because it's like really blonde. What is the blonde girl's name? I know y'all watching this like screaming and saying her name for me right now. Okay, hold on. Alexia, hold on. Okay. Alexia. Joanna, there we go. That's her name. The supermodel, Joanna. Now in season 2, when they were at that last little dinner, Joanna said something to the effect of like, because they was talking about the rumors about the dentist's fake ass boyfriend and stuff like that. And Joanna was like, well, we could go around here and talk about all of the rumors that we hear. Like, Alexia, we hear that your husband is gay. There's a rumor about that, but you don't see us running around saying that. Now, at the time when I was brought up, she was like, what? I've never seen no signs about that. But come to find out, Alexia says that at Herman's funeral, his gay lover showed up. Said, bae. Ain't that some shit? And come to find out, he really was gay and was sneaking around on her. Baby, ain't that some shit? So, Alexia, though, right now, she owns a shop, like, a nail beauty shop or whatever. And it's called Alexia and Frankie. Frankie is still doing good. Frankie is 24 years old. And so she goes to her condo. Okay. I didn't know that the condos in Miami were this fucking nice and this big. First of all, her condo is 10,000 square fucking feet. That's pretty fucking huge. Number 2, the way that she backed her car up into that fucking Tony Stark's Iron Man ass fucking lift for the car. You back the car up, the car raises up to your flow, and then you get out and you pretty much right there. It's kind of like how I think, and I'm not sure because I only watched like the first 2 seasons, but I think that's how their house was in Power. I could be wrong, but it gave me those type of vibes. But that was some Tony Stark ass, rich ass shit if I'd have never seen it. That's some fly ass shit. That's some fly shit. Like, for real. I love that. Because that's dope as hell. Because it's like, you don't have to go all the way to the parking garage to go and get your car. Your car is brought to fire. Anyway, so she has a fiance named Todd now. And Todd has 2 teenage girls. So she's really excited about that. Now, she did say that, Peter, which is her oldest son, who's 29, doesn't get along with Todd. Like, they don't really speak to each other. So that's that. So then we move on to Lisa. Okay, we see Lisa. Now we know season 1 and season 2, she was trying to move on to Star Island, which is, the little famous island and stuff like that. When I went to Miami like 2.5 years ago and stuff like that, they tried to sell us a package that would put us on a boat and would take us around to see Star Island and stuff like that. But me and my best friend, one of my best friends, we just didn't care to see that. Look, I don't really care to sit on a boat and see other people's nice ass houses. I'm just being real. I could see that from TV, and I did. So she's living over there, and I was so fucking happy when I seen a little boy in that pool. I was like, please tell me that that's her son. Like, please tell me that's her son. And when they said that that was her son, and then they showed her daughter, I was like, because I literally just watched a girl cry for 2 seasons for the past week and a half about not having kids and her having a hard time, having kids. Now, she talked about how they separated because at one point in time, it was so much contention about them having kids. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know these people's business. I'm just telling you from the outside looking in. From the outside looking in, it looks like her husband was being extremely in fucking sensitive to what the hell she was going through. And the reason I'm getting so upset about this is because the reason pretty much I really haven't been on YouTube the past like 2 or 3 months or whatever is because I was pregnant as well. I was pregnant and I had a miscarriage. So it bothered me even like more to see this shit, because I just feel like, obviously the girl wanted kids. She had said that 15,000 times, had cried about it. But he was also being very insensitive and saying like, we've had kids and it's not working and it's not working. It's like, you was just like, it's like he was punishing her for some shit that she could not control. And I think that was extremely disgusting. So I guess because of that, they end up separating. And I would have wanted to not be with him, just because you're not about to sit up here and make me feel bad about something that I cannot control. The woman obviously wanted children, and y'all were trying because she had 3 miscarriages. But my thing is, how much more do you think her body could get put through? And she even said that. Did you even stop to think if she wants to continuously fucking go through that process of possibly losing a kid again and again and again? It's the same way I feel like Dewey from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, he's being a fucking asshole about it, because it's just about y'all and y'all and y'all and y'all men, what the fuck y'all want. And y'all not even the ones that physically has to deal with this shit. Y'all barely go and fucking take care of the kid. You gonna come home, do your bare fucking minimum, and go back out. That shit pissed me off. But apparently during their separation, he like cheated on her or something like that, messed with some other girl, and then they end up getting back together. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's interested, if that makes any sense. Like, she was like, aren't we doing good, babe? Aren't we doing good? And he was just like, I mean, we still got stuff to work on. I don't know. I don't like him, but that's just me. Anyway, where we at? So then we meet a beautiful black woman named Gertie. That just sounds like such an old name to me. But anyway, so we meet Gertie. Gertie is an event planner, and she is doing Alexia's wedding. So that's how she's being brought into the fold. She's doing Alexia's wedding. She was born in Haiti, but she lived in Paris. I think that she said she was maybe 9, and then she moved to the U.S. She is married to a white man, but it's okay, because that's her high school sweetheart. And when I seen pictures of him, I think, because I did watch episodes 1 and 2, I ain't gonna hold y'all. And I don't know I think she might have showed it the next episode, but when I saw a picture of him back in the day, I said, oh yeah, I get it. Because that's the type of white boy that a black girl gonna go for. He didn't have to say a word. I said, got it. Because the way he looks now, obviously, is not the way he looked then. That's okay, I get it. He got I'm the white boy that all the black girls like. That's what he gives me. He gave that. Excuse me. So they have 2 sons. One that is 13 and one that is 8. So we go to Larsa, and we go to Larsa's house. All I got in my notes is she is so different. And I don't just mean, okay, when I say that Larsa is different, I don't just mean like face-wise, and obviously she got her ass done, her bodies and her titties done. I'm talking about her personality as a whole is different. The way that she talks is different. She acts like a Kardashian. Like, that's a fact. She really does. She speaks like a Kardashian. She looks like a Kardashian. She acts like a Kardashian. If you go back to season 1, which, like I said, I just watched less than a week ago, that's not the same person. And I understand that time goes on and people change, but baby, the difference is amazing. Now, she comes out in this, because she invited all of the girls over pretty much for like a pool party or whatever the case may be. Now, she comes out and she has like, this black bikini on, and it's like a see-through like netting black thing, but then her entire ass is out, and she's sitting there talking to her friends like, oh, make sure such and such doesn't come out, talking about her daughter. Bitch, why would any of your children want to come out and see you dressed like that? It's bad enough that they gotta go on the internets and see you put yourself out there like that. Why would she want to see you? Why? And if she got to stay in her damn room because of the shit you got on, maybe you need to put something else on. Girl, they didn't say it, but this was a Pretty Little Thing sponsored event, because that's all I seen was Pretty Little Thing. This was a Pretty Little Thing sponsored event. So I don't know if Larsa called Pretty Little Thing up and was like, hey, I'm going to be, it probably went like this. Hey, you guys, I'm going to be on the Real Housewives of Miami. And, I didn't know if you wanted to get any product placement or help me or anything like that. Okay, cool, girl. And they came up with the idea of, well, why don't you throw up at the party, right? And we could just pretty much pay for it. Just have our stuff in the background. Okay, cool. Let me go to the producers and tell them that. That's exactly how that happened. So then we meet. So in the car was Alexia and Gertie. We meet Dr. Nicole, okay? Dr. Nicole is an anesthesiologist, and she has a boyfriend that she calls her partner for, I think they've been together for 5 years. She ended up saying later. He's a lawyer. No, they're not married, and she's cool with not being married, but she still calls him her husband to other people. Like, I get it. I get what she's kind of sort of saying. I get it. If she don't want to be married, she don't want to be married. Then we meet, because Adriana comes and she ends up bringing a woman named Julia. And Julia is now they start off by saying she's a farm girl because she like lives on a farm, but she does have 2 other houses, I think, in Florida somewhere. And then the last person that we meet is Kiki, another black woman, tall black woman, who is Gertie's friend. So those are all of the girls. So then we come to find out, because we're looking at Adriana boobs, and I think they said Lenny, who is Lisa's husband, the boob doctor. I think they said he did Adriana boobs. Her boobs look amazing. So then they start talking to Larsa, and Adriana's like, man, I want to learn how to get this money from OnlyFans, like, you know, like Larsa does. And so Alexia and Marisol kind of like, what do you doing? Or like, we don't even really get it. Now, I'm going to be real. Alexia and Marisol are a little bit older, so I ain't trying to say that they're not in touch or anything like that. But I don't understand why some of the girls are a little bit confused on why they will automatically think, oh, she's showing a little bit more than what she's showing on Instagram. Because as we all know, all the way up until, I'll say, pretty much the pandemic hit, we know that OnlyFans were for sex workers, period. That's what OnlyFans was for. And it wasn't until the past, I want to say, year or so, that celebrities started jumping on there. And then they started getting paid for, a lot of them doing absolutely nothing. But some of y'all are doing more than y'all are putting on, especially in those DMs. Okay, because that's where the real money is probably made, when you're doing like special requests and whatnot. But yeah, so I don't understand why everybody else is so confused, because that's exactly how OnlyFans started. And Alexia and Marisol might not be quote unquote up on the fact that now you have regular celebrities doing it, and no, they're not posting like nudes or nothing like that. But I just thought that was weird that everybody found it to be like off, that they didn't know about that. So Alexia, Dr. Nicole ends up jumping in and was like, oh, you know, OnlyFans is not the same that it used to be. So Alexia was like, well, how do you make your money? Look, I just don't understand. You saying you making $10,000 a day, girl, what are you doing? That's the question. So then we get to Marisol, and Marisol in her confessional says that she don't think that she's gonna like Dr. Nicole, because she had heard that Dr. Nicole was talking a lot of shit about all of the girls there, but then is turning around and being up all up in their faces and acting like she's their best friend. I want to know who she heard it from, and I want to know what was said. Because what I did notice in the Real Housewives of Miami, especially from Marisol, is I heard, but I'm not getting where the source is coming from. So Marisol, let's not do this 10 years later. Just saying. So, like I said, Julia, she has a farm and 2 homes. She's married to like the really, really, really famous ass tennis player. That's like white tennis player woman from back in the day. Now when they're talking to Julia, it's Marisol and Kiki. They're talking to Julia about her being like living on a farm. Oh, Lord help us. Julia is talking about milking, right? You know, milking a goat, milking a cow. And Kiki says, do you put your mouth on it? Like, do you put your mouth on the udders? And Marisol just simply said, girl, are you serious, girl? You can't be that dumb. Like, come on now. And Kiki gets offended by that. It's like, it's not a dumb question. It's a real question. I'm sorry. I know people say there's no such things as a stupid question. But girl, that was a stupid ass question. I'm sorry. It was. You might truly not know the answer. But from the average person, that is a dumbass question. You said, do you put your mouth on it? Girl, how the fuck do you think we get milk in a carton? Do you really think that comes from somebody putting their mouth on the udder and then, unless you give a head, you shouldn't be doing that. So it was a dumbass question. I'm sorry, it was. And she got offended by that, but it was a stupid ass question. It's facts. So then, we see, well, I gotta hurry up, y'all. So then we see, Larsa bring the girls over to put like some like sweatpants and sweatshirts on, kind of like a teen slumber party, but they're grown ass women with kids. Like that's what everybody was saying. It was just like, AKA girl, act your age. That's pretty much what everybody was saying. So then we learn a little bit more about Julia and how she was Miss USSR, and then she came to the US, blah, 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 blah. Her and her wife did typical lesbian stuff. They went on 3 dates and then she moved her in. Typical lesbian shit. Then we learned a little bit more about Dr. Nicole. Her son is adorable. She don't give a fuck about a wedding. But her husband wants to move out of that house because I think he said that like he can get an offer for 40 million, which I ain't gonna hold you. That's a lot of motherfucking money. But she also did say that they moved like 6 times within the last 6 years. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm not moving again. I would be like, all right, let me tell you something. We could take this $40 million, but I'm telling you right now, wherever we move, I refuse to move for at least the next 5 years. I'm not fucking moving. That's absolutely ridiculous. Because how much money are you wasting by constantly moving like that? Like, I just think that's ridiculous. And that's not good for kids. Lastly, Alexia, Marisol, and one of her friends, that's a gay man, and that's important for a reason in a minute, are sitting down and they're talking. So Alexia is explaining to Marisol about how, what's her name's lover showed up to their funeral and stuff, and how, you know, she would like to know a little bit more about that and what happened. And so her friend is like, hey, you know, one time I was out at this gay bar and I met him and he told me, you know, he gave me his number and said, if you want to talk to him about it, he's willing to talk about it. So she said, reach out to him because I want to talk to him about it. So she did, and he wrote back saying he ready to talk. That's some shit. What are you about to ask him? Like how long it was going on? Did you want to know about like who was a bottom and who was a top? Does that matter to you? Trifling. But y'all get in the comments, tell me what y'all think. I'm bye.